everyone, welcome back to my channel. Ooh, with my hand. Hello. Anyhow, let me see. Oh, yeah, here's an update on the case that I bought at Michael's, the one that was like it's damaged. So I'm just going to show you what I did. In the back, I had put some duct tape just to reinforce it because it was all cracked and broken, and this hinge was falling off. It was broken, and this side also there was some damage. Some of the plastic was all broken. There was holes, so I just put duct tape on the outside and on the inside, and I also these two containers were also like damaged. They were broken, so I put duct tape on the inside and on the outside. So that's what I did. I fixed that part of it. And I put a makeshift handle on it. So this is what I did. During the summer, I found this, it's twisted wire. I found at the dollar store. And it came in different colors, but I bought this color because I love this color. Anyhow, so it's just, I only bought one roll of this. Anyhow, so that's what I did was, I doubled it and I threaded it through the two holes there, and it went all the way through. So I made a makeshift handle for that, which is okay. It serves a purpose. Sorry. So that's the handle I made. So that's it. So I can put this down here for now. At the end of there. And I'll put this over here. So what I want to do today is what I did in another video that I explained that I had to delete. I couldn't upload it because there was a problem with the video. So what I want to do is I want to alter this. Now, these is from the little wood pieces that you get at the dollar store, and I want to alter this. So, what I was thinking of maybe putting two of them together at some point, and putting hinges on one side and a latch over here. So it's kind of wonky because you know, that's just the way it is. But, let's see. I'm just checking to see. Yeah, this piece is up a little bit. That's what's causing that to be like that. That's okay. You know, it's not perfect. It doesn't matter. Actually, maybe it does matter because then it'll be I'll have a hard time when I put the hinges on. So what I'm going to do is, which one is it? It's this one? Yeah. I'm going to sand that. I'm going to sand that down. I'm just going to use a piece of paper. Just to get the sand dust off there. Get it as even as I can. Getting there, I think. still makes it too wonky. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look. I think I have another one. I think I have another one. Just let me go and check. Just going to get rid of that. Adding dust. Hang on. I'll be back. I'll be back. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'm coming back. Hang on. Let me see. Yes, I have another one, but it's got the wood pieces in it. So, okay. Hopefully this one isn't so wonky. I take the wood pieces out. Yeah, so it's this one. I'm going to put it in here for now. Hopefully this one is okay. What? My wood pieces. Butterflies. Butterflies are escaping. Feathers. Okay. Wait. Seems that one of the butterflies is broken. That's okay. Okay. Now, let me see. Okay, yeah. That's better. Not so wonky. Anyhow, okay, so that's okay. All right. So what I'm going to do first is, because what I want to do is I want to crackle. I want to give it a crackle finish. But because this is, I've crackled before using white glue on wood, but better wood than this. And because this, this is very thin wood, the paint will drink into it. So what I'm going to do, now this is going to be an experiment for me. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to give it a coat of gesso. There's like little splints of wood. I should sand that a bit. Okay, I'll do it over the garbage can. Okay. That's okay. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a coat of gesso first. And hopefully it'll seal it and the paint is not going to sink into the wood. I hope it turns out. I'm just using this gesso I bought it at Walmart. I'm just going to put it on here. Wet my brush a little bit. Hopefully it'll dry fast. I'll just use my my hair dryer to dry it up. Hair. I don't have crackle medium. I had crackle medium a long time ago. But I had bought years and years and years and years ago. I think I still have it, but I tried to use it once. It didn't work. I think it was too old. Anyhow, I'm just giving this. So I used, instead, I used white glue, which has worked. Anyhow, that's, I'll show you when we get there. Hopefully the white glue that I have is going to work because it's, it dries fast. But anyhow, okay. Let's just use this one. I'm not going to be too fussy about putting the gesso in all the little corners here. I'm just going to get it on as much as I can. It's like dripping there. I don't want any like dripping over the corner. Almost there. Okay. Just smoothing it out. Okay. Hang on. Anyhow. We had a snowstorm here on Monday night into yesterday. And because I used to park on the driveway, but since there's a new owner, there was problems. He's not the nicest of people, but anyhow, because in the summer it's okay, you know, parking is easy on the street. It's just in the winter when there's a snowstorm, it isn't so easy. But anyhow, one of my neighbors upstairs, he's so considerate. He's like, you know, a super nice person. Anyhow, so like he parks on the driveway now. What he told me was, like in the summertime, let's say if it does happen, that I can't park close to the building, that I have to park like further down the street. Because he says to me, he says, I don't want you to walk far. Because he knows I have a problem with breathing, because my lungs I have COPD, so. And not only that, I've got arthritis, oh my God, all throughout my body. Anyhow, so he told me, he says, if ever you come home and you've got nowhere to park close to the building, he told me, he says, if I'm home, he says, phone me, I'll move my car. And you could park on the driveway. So like now in the winter, because of the snow, he told me that whenever there's a snowstorm, that I'm to park on that. He told me to park on the I can park on the driveway, and I could stay on the driveway until the city cleans the street on both sides. So, which is a big relief for me. Oh my gosh, you won't believe. Anyhow, and he shoveled all the snow off the driveway. And anyhow, so they haven't started moving all the snow yet on my street, so I don't know when they're going to put the signs up. Oh, that's a big relief for me. Boy, I'm telling you, I was so stressed out on that. But he's such a good person, and you know, good people like that are hard to find these days with all the crap that's been going around in the world. It's terrible. Anyhow. And I said to him, I said, oh my God, I said to him, you know, I don't know what to do. I don't know what, except to say thank you. I said to him, what can I do for you? What can I give you? And he says, I want nothing in return. You know? So, that's so nice of him. So, because he knows too, like, my income is limited, so, because I'm on pension now, so I count every penny. Anyhow. Oh, that's what's going on here. Anyhow, it's a nice sunny day out there today, although it's so cold out. Oh my God. Yeah. Winter is on its way. And winter is on its way. It's here. Anyhow. There you go. Yeah. So Monday during the day was nice. There was grass out there. You see the grass? Yeah. It's covered up. Okay. Okay, almost finished. Just I need a little bit more gesso. Get in there. Like I said, I'm not too concerned if I get all the little corners. And some of this will be, there's going to be something in there. Probably put some, there might be some fabric in that that'll be going in there. I'm not sure yet. Anyhow, just trying to, if there's any drips, just taking them out. Okay, on the edge. Hair. Okay, come on, this is not a hairy project. Okay. Okay. Some drips on that one. Some drips on that one. Okay, what I'm going to do is, you see this? This is my cleanup book. Alright, I'm going to add the rest of the gesso on here, on the pages. Okay. Just gonna set that aside to dry. And I'm going to clean my brush. And clean up the table. So like I said, I hope this is going to work. Because I never used with gesso as a base before. just all over my hands. Just want to clean my hands up a bit. Anyhow. Okay, I'm gonna have to go over there. Okay, you go over there. And try this up. That's okay. I think my hair dryer is going to die soon because that was on the highest setting, high setting, and it was cool instead of hot. Anyhow, maybe I'll find one at a thrift store. I don't know. Okay. Okay, it's enough. Now, it's going to take my brush. I don't want to leave it in water. Okay, I'm gonna start with black. These are the three colors I'm gonna use. Black, and this is lamp black. It's Ebony by Americana. And I'm going to use, second color I'm going to use is also Americana acrylic paint, and it's primary red. They call Nepal crimson. And the top layer I'm going to use is folk art. It's Mystic Green. There, that's the bottom. Anyhow, yeah, this color here I've had for, I don't know if it's drying up inside. This one of the first paints I bought like about 25 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. Let me shake this up. This is just a piece of wax paper. I use as a palette. I'm going to need more than that. I'll probably need more than that. Just going to wet my brush a little bit. Yeah, I had bought I had found at a thrift store a bag of those you know those brushes you get at the dollar store for like $1.25 or whatever for a package. And yeah, I had found at the thrift store a lot. There was a lot in one of the bags. Anyhow, and I can't find where to put them. Because this is one of my better brushes. I don't like really using it too much for something like this, but like I said, I can't find the cheapies. And all the other ones that I have are no good anymore. I have to ditch them. Okay. I don't know. Have you guys ever tried crackling using the white glue? Let me know in the comments if you have. If not, then you will see it happen here. At least I hope it will. Like I said, anything I do is like something like this is an experiment. Although I've done it before and it's worked, but like this time I've had to put gesso first. So I don't know how this is going to work out. Hopefully I could get some awesome cracks. I want to make sure that I get good coverage. Color print. Anyhow. Yeah. So, let me know in the comments also if you've ever painted on wood, or if you do a different things, different mixed media projects, or if you just do journals, or if it's just one thing that you do. Yeah, I like to try all different kinds of things. Especially steampunk. Oh my god, that's my favorite. My favorite thing. Some of you know that. I'm gonna have to start doing some more steampunk projects, although this might end up being something a little steampunkish. Yeah, yeah, I like altering stuff. I don't know if you guys saw my video series about my steampunk duckmobile that I did. Little guy sitting up there on my shelf. He was so much fun to make. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so this morning I went out for a little bit in that biting cold. That's okay once my car was warmed up. I was nice and toasty warm in my car. Next few days supposed to warm up a bit, hopefully. Getting there. like one night last week. I don't know if you guys like mushrooms or if you're allergic to mushrooms, if you can't eat mushrooms. But I came across this awesome recipe that I tried. Oh my god, it was so good. It was bacon stuffed mushrooms. Oh, it was so delicious. Oh, I'm gonna have to make them again at some point. I'm just gonna try this a little bit so I can put it down. Okay, there. Almost finished this one. Usually I would sandpaper the surface first, but not this time. Like I would have sanded the whole thing. But we'll see what happens. Almost finished. Or black paint. This is a little boring for you guys. You can fast forward a bit if you want. It's a bit boring. Okay. Just making sure there's no, everything's all covered up. I think that's okay. Okay, next. I know at one time I can be in the old days, the farmhouses and that, what they used to do when they painted an item, usually you could see because how worn it gets after a while, worn as far as use goes, you could see the different layers, different colors that they use, and they mostly used black as the base. Then they use the red color, and then on top of that you could see a layer of green, which is very interesting. So this is why I chose these colors. I want to see, because I'm going to be really aging this up for you guys. And show you some techniques besides crackling. At least I hope it's going to work. Okay. Like I said, you can fast forward if you find this a little boring watching me getting a base coat on here. Okay, more paint. So some of you know I have a cat, and his name is Stray. Yeah, I don't know if I ever, I think I did, shared the story of how he came to be. How I came to have him. He adopted me. What happened was, around where I live, there's a lot of stray cats, and what the city does is they, in the area that I live, they'll pick up the cats, stray cats, and what they'll do is they'll have them spaded or neutered, so they're not interested in doing the hokey pokey, so to speak. Anyhow, and yeah, it's called the Catch Release Program. What they'll do first, before they spade or neuter them, they will test them to make sure they don't have any of those cat diseases that is lethal, that they're going to die from anyhow, and that they will spread to other cats, because obviously they're not inoculated, they don't get their booster shots, and if they are contagious, they will put them down. Otherwise, they will spade or neuter them, and then what they'll do is they'll just clip one of their ears, just a little clip in one of their ears, so that, and they'll release them. They'll bring them back to the area where they picked them up. Now, the reason why they clip one of their ears is because if they see that cat again on the street, they'll know that it was already picked up and spaded or neutered. So anyhow, so like Stray was feral. He was born on the street. I had seen him around. I had seen him around sometimes. Anyhow, my neighbor, who not saying my neighbor then, because this was years ago. She would take in stray cats. Like she would let them in. She would feed them. She provided warmth for them. She had her balcony set up in the back for the winter with hay and that, so that they would be warm. Anyhow, she had her own cat. Plus, she had a dog. But when her dog passed away, then the cats started to really come around. So, like I said, she would feed them. She would let them in the winter. At night when it was like below freezing. Anyhow, and unless it was really, really bad during the day, she would let them out. So they spend the day outside, and she made sure they had water and food and a nice setup for them in the back. And anyhow, so she had like, plus her own cat, about four other stray cats now. Stray. Hang on, I'm just going to dry this up a bit. So, and Stray, he kind of came late as far as she was, for her, let him in and that. So she would let him in, but he didn't always want to go in, so he was around sometimes. Anyhow, and this, I didn't know about Stray, that she was letting him in and that. But anyhow, I'm just thinking, back in 2009, it was February 2009. Like I said, I had seen him around sometimes, but he never came in or anything. Anyhow, so what I did was, one day I did go buy a couple of cans of food, put it outside in case I would see him, because I didn't know that she was feeding him. Anyhow, so I hadn't seen him around in a couple of days, so I didn't know what happened or whatever. Anyhow, so, and then it was February. I forget exactly what day it was. I have it written down somewhere. Anyhow, he showed up at my kitchen window, and it was cold out, and he was meowing. So I opened my door, and he came in. And he marked the place. And what I mean by mark, he didn't spray. He was just like with his head, he's marking his scent on everything, like he was claiming his territory. Anyhow, so what I did was I I put down some food for him, and I put down a, a gallon, a plastic container that was from ice cream. It was a gallon size. Anyhow, he ignored the food. He drank and he drank and he didn't stop. And I couldn't believe it. He drank the whole thing nonstop. Anyhow, when he finished, I went, oh my God. So what I did was I filled it up again and he drank half of it. He drank half of it. So, in other words, if I hadn't let him in that day, he was so dehydrated he was going to die. And for cats, it's a very painful death for them, eh? Dehydration. Anyhow, so um, so that's the story. He stayed. He stayed. Anyhow, okay, so what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to let that dry and clean my brush off. Anyhow, so what happened was he stayed in the rest of the day. Anyhow, so the next day he wanted to go out, so I let him out. So I didn't know if he was going to come back or not. He did eventually eat, but he ate only a little bit. So, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to wash the brush. Wait a minute. Anyhow, no, it's okay. Let's clean it up really good. Anyhow, oh boy. Yeah, so like, yeah, he did come back. So he's been back ever since. So what happened was about up to 5 years ago, I think it's 5 years now, I decided to keep him in as an indoor cat because there was a couple of times where I seen that my heart, oh my God, I see he almost got run over by a car 3 times, 3 different occasions. So I said, that's enough, you're not going out anymore. Yeah, so after like 2 months that I knew he was going to stay, I took him to the vet, and she gave him booster shots, and she said just by looking at him that he, you know, he was very young. He was only maybe 2 years old when I took him in. So anyhow, and she said, oh yeah, when I first got him, oh my God, he was like, because he's a long hair, he's part Maine Coon. I could feel, I touched him, I could petting him, I could feel, I could count every one of his ribs. That's how thin he was. And his fur was just full of clumps, just clumps of fur. So I tried combing them out a bit, and anyhow. So I took him to the vet, and she examined him, and she said, yeah, you know, he's really underweight. And she said he's, by the looks out of him, and she said, yeah, he's been neutered, and he looked very thin, and he looked, you know, looks about 2 years old. She said, actually, she said 1.5 years and 2 years old. Anyhow, so and she gave him the shots and examined him, and then she gave me pills to give him for deworm. And anyhow, she said to come back after 3 weeks. So I took him back in 3 weeks' time, and it was so great. She said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because he's doing really well, and he was gaining weight. And she says, I could feel he's starting to get a nice little belly. anyhow, and he still had some clumps of fur, so what they did was they with the razor they shaved them off. Anyhow, so I'm just going to dry the inside here a bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's okay. I missed a few little places, but that's okay. Anyhow, okay. Now, let's see. Crackle. What I'm going to do is first, okay, the next color I'm going to put on is going to be red. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the paint out, get the paint ready, because the Elmers glue it's a stronger formula, and this one dries fast, so I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. I'm just going to shake up the red paint, because I got to put the paint on before the glue dries. Like, it should be a bit tacky. So, oh, geez. Come on. Hopefully I have enough head paint. I should. Anyhow. Okay. So I have some Elmers glue already in here, but I'm going to probably need more, so I'm going to shake it up a bit. As it settles. I'm going to add some more in here. I'm just going to clean me up. Okay, now what they say is, I'm not going to use this brush with the glue, I'm going to use this. What they tell you is, what they say is, okay, the more glue you put on, the thicker the glue, layer of glue you put on, the bigger the cracks. So if you put a little bit of glue on, it'll make smaller cracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, cross your fingers that this is going to work. So, and not to go over the glue. Like if you put it on once, not to go over it too much or it won't work. So I'm going to add a bit. I want a lot of glue. Let's see if I can get big cracks. And then just small cracks here, hopefully. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes to dry. see. I think if I try it a bit with the hair dryer. Whoops. See. I dried too much at the bottom. Adding a bit more glue here. Okay. I'm going to use this brush. Come on. Maybe I laid it on too thick, but that's okay. Leave your fingerprints in it. Okay. Wish me luck. Now I'm going to try. Put some red paint on the brush. Okay. Here we go. I think it's working. There. Is it crackling? I don't know. Some areas it is. Can you see it? Should I bring you guys in a bit? You see that? Crackling in some areas. Okay. See what happens if I hit it with the glue gun. With the glue gun, it's gonna hurt dry. It's starting to crackle. Okay. It crackled in some areas, but not everywhere. Maybe I won't put so much glue on next time. Yeah, as the paint dries, I touched it here. I made a boo-boo. That's okay. Not worried about it. Yeah, the more the paint dries, more of a crackle you'll get. Sorry. I don't know if you guys can see that. Anyhow, okay. So now for the sides. I'm not going to put, like I said, I'm not going to put as much glue on. Two sides at a time. Let that dry up a bit. Uh, some areas it looks better than others, but that's okay. Okay, let's try the sides now. Look at that. Okay, these are the other two sides. I'm going to wiggle the brush a bit and see what happens with that. too dry there. One spot that's dry. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. Let's see. I better clean my brush off a bit. Anyhow, yeah, I guess depending how big your surface is, the more of a crackle you'll get. Anyhow, okay. I'm just going to let that really dry well before I do the inside. I'm going to do this one, this one. I really need to clean my brush. Anyhow, okay. So some red paint. The boogers in there. That just means the paint is drying out. There you go. Okay. Now, I think maybe I'm not sure if I should try a different brush. Anyhow, okay. So I don't like going over it, but I don't want to put a lot of paint, but this dries fast, and a lot of glue, I mean. A little bit of red paint on here. Yeah. Okay. What I want to do is I'm going to just wiggle the brush and see what happens. Funny thing, it's crackling, but there's no, I haven't put any paint on the surface yet, second coat, so this is why it's up a bit. Okay. So booger. I feel it pulling. That means the glue is tacky. Okay. There you go. It's starting to crackle a bit. Try it. I like crackling. You guys can see that? Yeah, so more it dries, more it crackles. Anyhow, okay, so I'm gonna do the sides. I don't want to put it on too thick. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, it's cracking right away almost. Makes sense? Almost. Crackling right away almost. Look. I don't know if you guys can see. It's starting to crackle. Okay, the other two sides. Quite a bit. Okay. Oh yeah. When it's pulling like that, yeah. The glue is drying and yeah, it's cracking. hard to see. Where am I going? This way. Okay. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. This one's really dry. Yeah, I think too, a lot of it has to do with the type of brush. So for the green color, I'm going to try a different brush instead of this one. I'm going to just go, I'm going to wash this boogers. I'm going to wash this and I'm going to clean out my water. I'll be back in a minute. Okay. I'm going to try a different brush, like I said. Okay. Let's see. I'm more happy with that one than this one, but that's okay. I could see the like cracks lines. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the green. I'm going to go now and see if this is going to work. Oh my God. Stop doing that. I keep pulling the paint off. Okay. Well, okay, now I'm going to try the green color over the red. See what happens. Let's see. Just dry it up a bit. try this brush. I don't think I have a lighter. Hang on. No. Let's try this. I want to be able to see the red and the black peeking through. Let's see if this is going to work. Oh yeah. The more it dries, the more the crackling effect comes out. Some areas you can still see the black. The longer it dries, the more it crackles. I should bring you guys in closer. See more crackles here, all here. Not so much here, not yet anyhow. I don't know if it will. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to do this one, the back here, then I think I'm going to end it, and I will finish it off camera. Okay. I'm not going to put as much glue on this time. Let's see what happens. I'm just like more or less dry brushing the glue on. Like I said, this is more of an experiment right now. It's more dry brushing it. That way it's more tacky. It's a bit more tacky. Let's see. Let's put some green on. Oh, look at that. Ah, look at that. Crackling right away. So that's a trick. Dry brush the glue on. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Look at that. Better. Okay, so the longer it takes to dry, and depending on the brush that you use, and I like the dry because this is like I said, this glue is a stronger formula and dries faster, so I wasn't too sure how it was going to take. But if you like dry brush the glue on, and I think it's a better effect. There you go. Oh, okay. I like it better than this one. I like this one better than this one. That's okay. Like I said, more of an experiment right now for me today, although I've made some awesome cracks before in the past. But maybe I should show you what I've done. Hang on. This is a sewing shadow box that I did back in 2014. Look at the crackle on that. And I use Elmers school glue on this. So, there, on the sides. I beat it up a bit. I sanded the corners and I burnt, anyhow, I'm going to show you guys. Anyhow, so this is the this is the sewing shadow box I did. I'm going to take you guys out so you can see it better. Need to move this out of the way. This is a shadow box that I made. Just want to put that in there. Back in 2014. Yeah. So, as you can see, I put on, for the doorknob, I put a thimble on there. Opens up. Okay, so I had, I made shells out of foam cord. Anyhow, and then I just, along the edge of the shells, I put lace. I made, and I just backed it with some decorative paper in the back and along the sides and here. And I made full books, full little sewing books on this shelf. And it says fabrics, alterations, and stitches. That's the 3 sewing books. And I filled some jars up with, this got pins in it. This is safety pins. This one's got buttons in it. And this is a needle threader I glued on there. And in the spools of thread on this shelf, I put a needle into one of the spools of thread. And here I did full bats, you know, like what you see at a fabric store. Just racks of different fabrics. And here I did a dress form. I made a dress form, and I put a dress that I'm working on. Got to sew the hem. Anyhow, and I made a little table, and I covered it with some lace, and I made a little what do you call that? Pin cushion, little bottles with sequins in it. There's a bobbin. I did the legs of the table with spools of thread, and I glued on a pair of scissors on there. And in the back, I just did this paper. I don't remember where I got it from. I think somebody sent it to me. And I put this is a sticker of a clock on the wall. Anyhow, so that's it. That's what I did. So I really like how that crackle turned out. Anyhow, so that's it, guys, for now. I'm going to finish, I will finish these up off camera. And then I'll get back to you guys and do another video on what else I'm going to do. Anyhow, so that's it, guys. I'll see you later. Ciao.